You're tuned into WODU, the best in college radio. Kevon's back here.
Yep, I'm back.
He's
Yep.
back. He's back. Got a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about today. I only got an hour today, but it's our last hour show.
Oh, it's okay though.
Yeah, it's
okay.
our last hour show because after this we can do 2 hours from here on out. So you'll get us even longer, a lot longer, almost too long. NFL, of course, we got to cover some undefeateds falling. Some greats look like they're falling.
Yeah.
Tony Romo returns. Can that help him out at all? Probably not. Christmas happened on Thursday Night Football. And we got some college football. New power rankings came out. Talk about that a little bit. NBA. One team looks like the real deal while the other one looks like they're struggling. And then some injuries. Then college basketball started.
Yep.
I know you're excited for this time.
Oh yeah.
I was excited for this time. So we'll get into all of that too. More in Cup Check on WDU. The best in college radio. So starting off with the whole NFL thing. We'll start with last night.
Yeah, there was a good game. I mean, it was a little boring, but
yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if it was a good game. It was a
boring.
boring game, but
it went down to the last drive. I mean, it had me watching to the last drive. I wanted to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the undefeated team lost, so that's another thing that it's good to see.
Yeah,
good to see. Being a Steelers fan, it's good to see that them fall.
But I wouldn't put the blame on Andy Dalton. It seemed like his weapons just weren't showing up. Tyler Eifert had a couple of key drops.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the game, there was a key fumble by a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not all on Andy Dalton, although they only put up like 6 points.
Yeah,
he's got to take a little blame for that.
Yeah, he did have. I mean, his game wasn't definitely the best, but I know he's not the only culprit.
Yeah, and I mean the defense played well. That's one thing that they only gave up 10. I mean that's pretty good, but Texans defense looked good too.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what the Texans defense did. They gave up 6 points in the first half and none in the second half. Andy Dalton played okay, like you said. 197 yards, an interception, no touchdowns. Not a great QBR, 30.7. Running game wasn't there. Both Bernard and Hill. Looks like Hill's almost, they're going to kind of quit on him soon, you think?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they gave Bernard kind of the carries. Hill was their goal line back, but 7 carries for 15 yards? That's not enough.
That's not good at all.
Hoyer, he played well for the time, or okay for the time being, and then he got injured. Kind of a questionable injury on what happened because it didn't no big hits, no broken arm, nothing.
It was just like you just saw. I remember I was watching the game. I saw like a switch of the quarterback, and I was like, well, "Okay, what happened?" Like,
yeah,
because I didn't have the volume up.
Yeah, so no, and then they went back and showed a replay, and he's just standing on the sidelines like drinking water, and then walks over to the trainer. But Yates came in and played well. Yates was 5 for 11, 69 yards. I mean, Yates played well.
Yeah, he did.
And you look at what he did, a touchdown, 63 yards. I mean, he kind of won that game for him.
Yeah, it was an amazing catch. Hopkins made a great catch.
Yeah,
that was a great catch.
And I mean, Hopkins is one of the receivers in the league that he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't have a quarterback. He's like, he's not Megatron. Obviously, Megatron's a freak of nature. But he's kind of in the same situation where Megatron doesn't have a quarterback who can get him the ball. He's got to kind of fight for it every time because it could be intercepted. And I mean, I don't think anybody would argue Brendan Hoyer and TJ Yates are quarterbacks that they would start on their team, much less not even their fantasy team. Like, you wouldn't even start them on your fantasy team, much less a real team. So, but the Bengals lost at home too. Monday night, big stage, a team that a lot of people thought they might have the best shot to go undefeated. But another thing coming off of the loss was J.J. Watt's comment about turning the Red Rocket into a Red Ryder BB gun.
I mean, JJ had a pretty good game though.
Yeah, and JJ
he's really getting it to him.
Yeah, so. And then Dalton got upset about it, and it's like, it wasn't that big of a diss or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think too much of it. Honestly, it wasn't like he said anything too bad.
No, he just made a comment like we shut him down, which is great because they did shut him down. He had one interception, no touchdowns, and under 200 yards. I mean, J.J. Watt said we had a good game. That's pretty much what he said. We contained the quarterback. He just took his nickname of the Red Rocket and turned it into something that is not as powerful as a rocket in a red rifle or red BB gun. So,
yeah. And Andy Dalton, knowing who he is, I mean, he knows it's not his best performance. So I don't know why he even thinks that big of a deal of this comment. So
I mean, the one thing though I see with Andy Dalton is he could be slipping back into old Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody was fearing.
And the thing is that may not happen. I for one think it is going to happen. It's
I don't
Andy
know.
Dalton.
Their weapons seem to be they seem to be a lot better this year. I mean, as far as production wise, not that they changed, but it's just like the production. Because Tyler Eifert, he's been there. Green was there. Bernard was there. But it's just like it seems like they're doing a lot better. But then again, they've been known to fold when it comes to for that that playoff run.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at you look at his stats and you look at everything he did against a team that's defense isn't spectacular. It's supposed to come into the season one of the best, but it really never made it there. All right, so far at least. There's 7 games left now, but the Texans shut him down for the most part. And I think J.J. Watt taking that shot at him, Dalton knows in the back of his mind, I do this every year. I start to collapse every year, and J.J. Watt may have started that and may have started the whole I do this every year. I can't let this happen again in his mind. And at some point, he overthinks it and he keeps making mistakes.
Yeah.
One thing at quarterback is you got to be smart, but you can't overthink it. You got to go with your gut in a way.
Yeah, I agree.
And J.J. Watt may have just gotten to Andy Dalton's head enough to where he starts overthinking things. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out throughout the rest of the season. But getting upset over something so minor like that, the only thing I can think of is that he's afraid he's going to go back into Andy Dalton's old ways.
And that could be a reason why.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see, I guess, for the rest of the season, like you said, to see if that is what it is. Because this game could be real pivotal. You never know because they're known to fold, especially Anthony Dalton. He's known to fold.
Yeah, no, I mean, they fold very quickly in the playoffs, too. The December they fold and January hits, that they're not there. But it'll be a big point. We'll see if Andy Dalton can keep it together because they don't really have a rushing attack. 73 yards and 30 of it was Andy Dalton. I mean, that's not good when you have 2 running backs that were seen as pretty good running backs to start the season. But it's going to be all on Andy Dalton's shoulders, and it's make or break for him. So we'll see how he does throughout the rest of the season. But talking about other quarterbacks, new ones, old ones, coming off the bench, Big Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they even hurt that man Landry Jones because it seemed like Ben Roethlisberger just came in and just gave him like 100%. Like it just seemed like he was going ham on them.
And the thing is with Big Ben, he's got to be the toughest dude out there.
Yeah,
he's got to be one of not even out there. He's got to be one of the toughest guys to ever play football.
Oh yeah. Tim, I mean, I'm sorry. Ben Roethlisberger is actually he's known to be like tough as nails.
Yeah, I mean the fact that he started off the week in a walking boot. He was in a walking boot. Wednesday, he's like, I'm gonna play. I'm like, no, you're not, Ben. And then they're like, okay, we'll dress Ben, but Landry's gonna be fine. And another thing is the Steelers can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
that's one that we need to kind of point out here. The Steelers can't even keep their third string healthy.
It seems like every quarterback they have is just getting hurt.
But Ben just played out of his mind, and he was injured.
Yeah, he came in and he was lighting them up.
I mean, he had over 300 yards, and Antonio Brown had yet another great day.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see where they were at if Ben was healthy the entire season.
Oh, yeah, because, I did hear that, Antonio Brown hasn't caught a touchdown from anybody other than Ben since he's been out.
Yeah, no, and I mean, that's a very, very prominent thing because Vic threw left-handed and they can never find it. Landry Jones did okay, but they couldn't get it together. And the thing is, he pretty much had 3 bye weeks for Antonio Brown. I mean, that's a reasonable thing to say because Vic, he had like 5 yards. Landry Jones, he had like 20 yards. And then Vic, he had like 10 yards. He's still leading the league by over 100 yards.
Yeah.
Over Julio. Your boy Julio.
We had a bye week. It's okay. But yeah,
I mean, 100. He needs like 120 yards to tie.
Yeah, with Ben, that Antonio Brown, like he really, 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 him and Ben, they have that connection. It seems that and if it were together, this year could have been a great year for him.
And I mean, it's still going to be a phenomenal year for him. But you look at Antonio Brown and Ben, and you got to at some point you got to start putting them at like that's an elite duo. Last year, even as a Steelers fan, last year I thought it was kind of a fluke. Not a fluke in the way that like they're not good, just they can't be that good. Antonio Brown's not like a towering figure. He's quick and elusive.
That's what I mean, because I feel like I've seen this before. I'm not gonna say. I mean, he's better than Mike Wallace, but when Mike Wallace was with the Steelers, it was like he had that connection with Ben for a little bit, and then after he left and went to Miami, it was all downhill. But I've seen some similarities in Antonio Brown, but of course, Antonio Brown seems to be killing it a lot more, than Mike Wallace was.
Yeah, I mean the difference between him and Mike Wallace though is Mike Wallace, and I wish we still have Mike Wallace. We should go trade for him, a 7th round draft pick, because that's what he's worth. But Mike Wallace was a guy who every play he's running a streak.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's so fast and Ben's arm's so big. You hit 2 screen passes to Antonio Brown for 20 yards apiece, and then you hit a 40-yard pass to Mike Wallace touchdown. They were so elite at that time, and they had Emmanuel Sanders. People forget about that too. At one point, the Steelers had Antonio Brown, Emmanuel Sanders, and Mike Wallace with Big Ben.
Yeah.
If they still have that duo right now, and it shows that the Steelers drafting wide receivers, like if it's on the Steelers board, anybody else should go get them because they're one of the best teams at drafting wide receivers.
Oh yeah, it seems like they always get though, but it seems like it's always the same types as far as elusive.
Well, I mean, Martavis Bryant's a pretty towering figure.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that he had 3 bye weeks, even if he only had like 50 to 75 yards for those 3 weeks, that's an extra 150 to 200 yards on top of that. And we still got 7 games left. They have 6 because they got their bye week.
Hopefully, hopefully Ben will be able to come back though. I really do hope that he gets like 100%.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be hard now because Landry Jones is. He's injured. What even happened to him?
He hurt his foot. He sprained his ankle or something. And they taped him up, but it was a really heavy tape job.
Yeah, I just hope that, Ben is actually healthy because, man, you see what he's like when he's injured. That man is just a man among boys.
Yeah, I mean, and he's so big. He's so big and towering. It's just taking him down's not a reasonable thing to do because it's not going to happen. But that duo right there would be phenomenal. But quarterback on the other side, Johnny Manziel played.
Oh, yeah.
He was just named the starter for the rest of the season. What is your take on that? What are you looking at here?
I mean, with the Browns, it's like, honestly, why not? I don't think that they're going to the playoffs. I don't think they're even I don't think they can even really be in contention, to be honest. Because between the Steelers and the Bengals, I feel like that's pretty much your wild card and your, NFC champ almost. I mean, the AFC. I'm sorry. So I don't even think that this change really makes a big deal. But I guess it's almost like a why not just going into the season. Going into the offseason, see where you're at with the quarterback position, see if he gets any better, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean you look at the rest of their team and they're not very good. I don't think that's a shock to anybody.
Yeah.
They're not good. So they're testing out Manziel. Because going forward, they don't have a quarterback. Manziel's not a quarterback. Manziel's a 6-foot guy who can run around and extend plays sometimes. I mean, they played bad versus Steelers, and the Steelers secondary is trash. Derek Carr, one of the quarterbacks that are coming up, Carr looks phenomenal. But you look at what Carr did to Pittsburgh's defense and secondary, and then you look what Manziel did. They scored 9 points. That's it. McCown's not going to be your guy for the future. You gave Manziel the job. 9 points. That's not quarterback level. He's thrown 2 interceptions, 5 touchdowns. That's all right. That's a good ratio. Versus Pittsburgh, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. They just didn't go for the extra point. But 9 points. And that came in garbage time too, 4th quarter. I don't think anybody's sitting here saying, you know what? Manziel's the future. And Brown fans are used to that too. They're not used to having a quarterback for very long.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately,
they're gonna be like, okay, I get it. I see that we're not gonna have a quarterback.
Pretty much, that's what it seems like is gonna be like their intake going into the offseason because the quarterback situation, like I said, I don't think it's gonna get any better. All they got to do right now is just hope for the best. Hope that we see some production. But it seems like going to the offseason, that's gonna be another focus for them, like always, the quarterback.
Yeah, so. And it depends where they get with Manziel. Because if Manziel kind of wins out or looks good the rest of the season, there's a chance they try to stick with him another season and give him that full season to prove himself. Because they got a difficult-ish schedule. Looking at the beginning, it would have been Ravens at home. They beat the Ravens on the road, one of the few teams they beat. The Ravens are kind of putting it together. I mean, they're not looking great.
No,
but
they just lost to Jacksonville.
they did, but I mean, they should have probably won. I mean, there was that whole offside or a false start penalty that wasn't
Yeah.
called, but they shouldn't have lost to Jacksonville. Should have been in that situation. But the Ravens will probably it'll be a good fight.
Yeah, it'd be a good game. I mean, well, not a good game, but it'll be a fight.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
I wouldn't watch it. It's gonna be terrible.
Yeah,
Then they got to play the Bengals, even though it's at home. The Bengals are still one of the best teams in the NFL.
definitely.
49ers look bad, but they looked better with their quarterback change.
Yeah,
Then you look at Seattle. By that time, Seattle will probably figure it out. December at Seattle, I can't see Manziel going into Seattle and winning that. The Chiefs are a difficult one, as we saw them just stomp the Broncos.
Yeah.
And then the Steelers again.
I see.
If he can win-
possibly one.
If he can win like 3, if he can go 500, I think they give him a shot.
Oh yeah. If they can pull out 3, that would be really great. But it'll definitely be a hard thing to do, and it will definitely require some great games from Manziel, some great production from him.
Yeah, I mean, that's just 3 games. I think he can solidify the job for next year. Under that, I think they take a look and maybe go after somebody. But again, they're going to go after somebody who's like, it doesn't matter. You have no weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, Travis Benjamin looked good for a little bit, but the Browns have a lot of work to go.
Oh yeah.
Too much work to go.
Travis Benjamin is almost like a good second receiver. He is really good, but I mean, he's had those games where he looked really good. But I really do believe that he's like more of like your second option receiver.
Yeah, he's not a number 1 receiver. They don't have a number 1 running back. They're giving Manziel not a whole lot to work with.
Yeah.
But even if they go after another quarterback, they have nothing to work with. You almost sit on Manziel for a year, try to build around him, and then go get a quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. Why keep starting? Because I feel like when you keep erasing the quarterback position, you keep getting a new one. It's just like a whole new thing. Like it's a big change in your offense. And I think that instead they should probably just try and believe in it. Believe in what they already invested themselves in, and just at least try something.
Yeah, I mean,
Try and build around him.
or build for the future.
Because worst comes to worst, if there is a great quarterback to come around, like in 2 drafts from now or something, they'll already have a good wide receiver and stuff like that. Just like almost what the Raiders, the Raiders now, they have a good, a solid young core.
And I mean, if you look at what is coming out this year in the draft, quarterback wise, not a whole lot. I mean, some people say Hackenberg. He's looked better during this half of the season, but he may not leave. His mom's an English teacher. He's probably going to get his degree.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, he's kind of a guy who will want his degree. I just see him finishing out. And the team looks good. They could compete for an upper level bowl, if not a championship, or like the championship next year, because they're not losing anybody on their offensive line. They got a freshman running back, so he's there. His wide receivers will probably stay if he does. So he probably won't leave. You got Cardell Jones and JT Barrett. They're a team that'll pick up JT Barrett. And JT Barrett is a college quarterback. I've said from day one, JT Barrett will do perfect at Ohio State. He'll get them the wins. He could win a national championship. But when you put him in the NFL,
I don't know if I believe in Cardell. I don't even think I believe in any of the.
I mean,
Ohio State
Cardell Jones though, like, is a guy who he's got a big arm, and I think he's built pretty well. His mechanics are there. The right situation, he does well. I mean, you put him on the Browns, he's gonna fail. But if I could see like a Lions, he'd do pretty well at least while Megatron's still there. He's got a huge arm.
But I don't know if I would even give him an upgrade over what Matt Stafford is. Like,
yeah,
he's not that. I don't think Cardell Jones is even all that.
What about San Francisco?
See, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the weapons, because when I'm thinking about Cardell Jones, I think about weapons.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing.
Because Cardell Jones,
they got Hyde though. Hyde's a pretty good running back.
That's true. Yeah.
At the beginning of the season. I mean, you look at teams that need quarterbacks. There aren't that many. I mean, maybe a Bills. The Bills would be interesting. I know they like Emmanuel or EJ Manuel isn't even playing at this point. You got Tyrod Taylor back there.
But they still kind of love him too.
Yeah, I know they love, but like Cardell with Sammy would be fun.
Yeah, it would. But I feel like it's almost like getting that would almost be like somewhat of what the Eagles and the Rams did with their quarterback. It's almost like you're getting like you're not really improving. It's kind of like,
what if the Rams got him? Tavon Austin's a quick dude. I mean, they got a running back in Gurley now. I think the Rams would be a good fit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Cardell, but the
I
thing
think
is,
that'd be the most intriguing, actually.
yeah,
Yeah. The
I
Rams.
think the Rams should go get him. But and then you look at JT Barrett. I just see him as an RG3.
Yeah.
JT, like
you said, a good college quarterback.
good college
Yeah.
quarterback that'll win maybe a national championship and great for him. That's phenomenal. Or like a Vince Young or something.
Mm-hmm.
He's a quick dude he's got good arm strength and everything. He just doesn't. I don't think his game's going to translate to the NFL level.
Yeah.
Which is nothing against him. I mean, Vince Young is still known as Vince Young. Like when you say Vince Young, everybody knows who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he's ready to make that leap. And if I was an organization, I would take Cardell over JT.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
And
definitely.
then you look at JT's off the field, what just happened with his DUI, and it's kind of like, we don't want that on our team. You want your starting guy to do that? People wanted Winston gone when he stole some crab legs.
Yeah, that's true.
So DUI is a bigger deal, I think, than stealing some crab legs.
Yeah. A DUI is a bigger deal. Yeah.
Maybe the Cowboys will take him. They take people, criminals.
Yeah, it
they
seems
take
like
some criminals.
they'll do anything for some publicity.
Yeah. But I mean, JT will be interesting. Again, other than that, though, back to the quarter where we started at. Let's bring this back around. There's no quarterbacks coming out.
No.
There's none that I would build my franchise around minus JT Barrett at like the Rams. He needs weapons.
Yeah. And that's exactly why, you would almost think that the Browns would, buy into another year with Manziel and possibly try and get him some weapons, during the offseason. At least give him something to work with.
And there's wide receivers out there that are good.
Yeah.
And you can get wide receivers late. They need a running back too.
Yeah, you can easily get stock up on some weapons in a draft, in the NFL draft. You can all the way up to like the fifth pick, honestly, like fifth round.
And I mean, the thing is, they have good tackles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of the people on their offensive and defensive line are really good. They got a nice tight end, or Joe Hayden in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
They need a quarterback and some weapons. They can't score. I mean, you gave up 30 to Pittsburgh, but Ben's a pretty good quarterback. I won't put him in a lead. If somebody else wants to do it, I'll let them do it just because I'll get ridiculed for it. But I mean, right now he's top 5 quarterback,
Yeah, I
but that's a different argument.
He's great though. Okay, yeah.
But I mean, they gave up 30 points, which they probably wouldn't give it up to a worse team, although they've given up quite a bit of points. But they can't score any. I mean, looking at their losses and wins, they've only scored 30. They scored 33. That's the highest they've scored all season. 9, 6.
And that was against a very poor defense.
Ravens. I mean, they've scored 9 points, 6 points, 10 points, 14, 10. Scored at 27 a couple times, 23, 20. They don't have weapons to score on the offensive side of the football, which is what you need in this day and age. I understand defense wins championships. Well, offense gets you there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you look at what the Broncos did. They didn't have any defense, but they had an offense and it got them there. They didn't win it, but they got them there. But it'll be interesting. Yeah, the Browns, they suck. They're gonna suck for a long, long time because the front office just doesn't know how to deal with them. Moving on to the Broncos, though, Manning partially tore his plantar fasciitis, whatever, however you say that.
It's almost like a bad dream, I just never thought I would see the day where Peyton Manning looks so terrible.
But okay, is this injury that bad, or are they throwing out things to cover up?
I think they're honestly throwing out things to cover up because I've heard a lot of different injuries.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like the plantar fasciitis, at first. At first, I heard some other stuff, but I feel like they're just really trying to protect his legacy. As far as even I just saw the way who has Kubiak, Gary. The way he was addressing the media, talking about how he benched him, and it's just like he really seemed really standoffish to the fact that he had a poor performance. He just wanted to say that he wasn't feeling well. He wasn't doing this. Like, dude, I saw that man launch up a dumb pass.
Yeah.
And I've seen him. He was doing a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at like what he said he had 4 interceptions.
Yeah, it didn't seem like It didn't seem like Peyton Manning at all. Like his mind didn't even seem like it was there.
No, and if you watch the game, which I'm sure a lot of people did because it was a huge upset, he just made bad passes.
Yeah,
a couple of his interceptions out of the 4 he threw, you can't blame it on an injury. He just didn't look off a linebacker. He just threw it in the wrong spot. Like, okay, maybe one or two. Yeah, he was wincing in
Mhm.
pain or whatever, but he just misread the defense. And his arm strength's gone. It's shot. As much as people want to say, well, did you see that one game? Okay, he had a good day. His arm strength shot. He can't read the defense like used to be able to. He's not as quick, even though he wasn't quick to start with. He's done. I mean, he's done. He
Yeah.
shouldn't have even came back this season. I understand that they were riding the high of last season where they did pretty well and made the playoffs, but honestly, I don't think he plays a game again. I don't think he plays again.
Then he's done for the year.
Well, the thing is, so what I heard was his brother actually had the same thing, but it was fully torn, which is actually better. I don't know how. I'm not a medical expert, but when it's fully torn, it's less painful. So if he gets surgery, they fully tear it and then it reheals. So that could put him out the entire season. If he doesn't get it surgically repaired, it's just a pain tolerance. It's what can he play through. And the fact that they look so bad so far, you start with Osweiler. He's your new guy. He's going to be the guy in the future. I know it sounds terrible to say Peyton Manning, you got to bench him, but at this point, everything we've seen, how bad they've looked.
Yeah.
You gotta bench.
You gotta turn the page on that. It is Peyton Manning, and it's hard to say, hard to even do. But just for the health of him, I mean, yeah, you definitely don't want to put him in a situation like that at his age. You don't want to put him through that situation. Just go ahead and bench him.
And he broke the record, which he had to do. That's
yeah.
The thing is,
too. That was big.
He had to break the record because Super Bowl wise, he doesn't have it.
Yeah, like he doesn't have like the accolades, but he has the records as far as passing touchdown, passing yards, blah blah blah.
He had to get those.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like because he doesn't have those Super Bowl wins. Like Brady could retire right now and be first ballot.
Yeah.
If Manning didn't break that record, say he was not even like 6 yards short. Say he was like a couple games short, like 250 to 400 yards short. He's probably first time, but there's some like I don't know. He struggled in big games. You don't have that with Brady.
Yeah, I agree. Because when people tend to make that argument with him, Peyton Manning is the stat guy, where like he has the stats. He has all the yards, all that good stuff. He's been in the league for so long. But Brady, he has the rings, and that's really the name of the game is winning. So, yeah, the fact that Peyton doesn't have that, it does, it makes it seem like he really didn't need that, the passing yards and all them other records.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is, he said he wants to play for another 10 years, which would be phenomenal if he could do that at a high pace, and he'll probably break a record if he does that.
Yeah,
but he doesn't need it. He's won Super Bowl after Super Bowl. He's shown that he's good in the clutch time. I mean, right now, if you said give me any quarterback, you can have any quarterback to lead you down the field and win in a 2-minute offense. I'm taking Brady, and it's not even close. I mean, Green Bay looks terrible.
Oh, yeah. Like I was just about to say it too. I was about to it would have been Aaron Rodgers like probably 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, but now it seems like, I don't even know if I can even really put all my coins in the Rodgers bandwagon because I don't even know.
I mean, Rodgers looks bad.
Yeah.
Manning looks bad. I mean, Rivers can't win, but he looks good. It's Brady. You put all your money on Brady.
Yeah.
If you said, all right, bet a quarterback, it's Brady. Obvious. And even before this season, it's close between Rodgers and him, but it's Brady because he's shown he can deliver. He's won those Super Bowls. He's done that. He's been there and done all of that. He doesn't need those records like Manning does. Manning needed the records. So I mean, he broke the record, so now sit on the bench, be done. Don't ruin your post football career.
Yeah.
Over a season that you're probably not going to make the playoffs. If you do, it's close. I mean, they could win their division, but they don't look good. And Manning's done. Manning's got to be done. Especially if Osweiler plays well. If Osweiler plays well, Manning's not.
Yeah, Manning. Yeah, he's pretty much done for the year. Then if he plays well,
Romo just staying on injured quarterbacks. Romo returns, and Cowboys fans still have hope. They're still like, oh, if we win out,
well, everybody
they lose out, the Cowboys are done. They lost 7 straight. They're what, 2-7, something like
Yeah.
that. They're done. Don't stop kidding yourself, Dallas. You're really, really bad. 2-7.
Hey man,
You're tied with the Lions.
Yeah.
Lions, Chargers, Titans. Browns are 2-8. Ravens are 2-7.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that they're still trying to bite off of that whole we're in the NFC East, anything's possible type of thing. But
Yeah, but
they're done.
They could finish
they're 2-7.
9-7 is what they could finish.
They have to win the rest of their games out, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like
9-7, and they have to hope that the Giants lose more than 3, and the Redskins lose more than 3, and the Eagles lose more than 3, or more than 2. They have to lose 3. That's a lot of hoping,
Yeah.
especially because Dallas looks bad. They just lost to Jameis Winston, who I think Jameis Winston's gonna be good, but he's not good right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. They lost to Jameis Winston, and it was an ugly game. Ugly, ugly game. I don't know those who watched it, but 10-6, ugly game.
Very.
Dallas is done. And at what point do they search for a new quarterback? Because Romo's old. He's gonna be like 36.
I feel like, I mean, well, you can imagine they're gonna give him another year because he wasn't healthy, so that's what they're gonna blame it on. But yeah, if next year doesn't work out, I think you definitely do need to think about finding another quarterback. But Romo is okay when he's healthy,
Yeah, I mean Romo's fine when he's healthy. He's been injured quite a bit, and people don't realize that because he plays through it, unlike other quarterbacks. But he's like 35, 36 now.
Mm-hmm.
With the injuries he's taken, he's got a couple more years. I mean, he breaks his ribs again or his collarbone or something. He's done.
Oh yeah,
because he's getting old, and they need a guy. And again, that would be an interesting Cardale Jones mix. I mean, throw into Des Bryant, but Dallas has no shot. Dallas fans need to realize that and move on. That Dallas has 0 shots at making the playoffs.
Yeah, that'd be miraculous. You have to win out all their games and hope other people lose.
If Dallas makes the playoffs, that will be one of the best comebacks in the history of the football league.
Yeah.
Even though they're in a terrible, terrible division, if Dallas can somehow muscle their way into the playoffs, this is who they have to beat now. Dolphins, okay. Panthers, Redskins, at the Redskins, that's always a tough game. At the Packers Stadium, even though they don't look good, they look better than the Cowboys. The Jets, they look solid. The Bills, they look solid. And the Redskins again. They're lucky to win 3.
Yeah.
Beat the Redskins once.
Yeah.
Beat the Redskins once. Beat the Dolphins. And they're lucky to beat the Dolphins. Maybe the Jets have fallen off at that point, but they look okay. They look like they can win. And I understand Romo's coming back, so they're going to look better than they were. But the Panthers are going to trounce that defense. It's not going to be fun to watch. The Redskins look really good against a terrible defense in St. Louis. Not St. Louis, in New Orleans. The Packers, if they win out, it is one of the best, if not the best, comebacks to make it to the playoffs of all time.
That's just that just shows the shot that they have to making the playoffs. If they were to make the playoffs, it would be phenomenal. It would be a phenomenal season for them. And
if they make the playoffs, honestly, I kind of want to see them make it to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
If they can just win out, win out outright, they beat the Panthers, Packers, Bills, Jets, all of that. That team's got something special going. But the thing is, they're probably going to lose to the Dolphins. They're probably going to take that loss, and then then there's no shot.
Yeah, I mean, you see them losing to the Bucks, and it's almost like you can lose to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I know you got Romo back, but he's still going to be a little banged up.
Yeah.
Moving on, Cam Newton mentioned him. His whole celebration thing. So somebody actually wrote out, took the time to put pen to paper and wrote out to Cam Newton that her 9-year-old was offended
by the little dance.
By the dance, and she like a very, very long letter. And the thing is, your 9-year-old shouldn't be upset by this. There's a lot worse things going on in the world. Like the Paris thing just happened. Yeah. That's terrible. You got Mizzou and the whole racist incident. That's terrible.
So somebody really wrote to Cam Newton.
Somebody wrote to Cam Newton saying that her little girl looked at him and said, "Mom, why is he doing that? Is he mad? Is he trying to get them upset? Why is he doing that? Why is he walking around like that?" Because he's paid millions of dollars to get the ball into the end zone,
And
and
he
your
did.
team could not stop them.
Yeah.
There's so much more going on in this world that's 100% worse than what Cam Newton is celebrating in the end zone in front of your favorite team's players.
That's just being petty.
There's so much worse. And Cam Newton's response is exactly how anybody should respond when that happens. Stop me from getting in the end zone. Just like the bat flip, how we talked about it earlier in the year. Stop me from hitting a home run.
Yeah.
Don't complain about it. Stop me. If you can't stop me, that's too bad. You're going to see me do the whole Cam Newton pull the chest open. They'll give the football to a fan, the whole dab, whatever you want. You're going to see that all the time.
Yeah.
And you know what? Tennessee is really bad, 2-7.
Yeah.
You know what the Panthers are?
The dude is
Undefeated.
celebrated. The dude who got mad, he was celebrating when he got the sack or
He
whatever.
did the exact same celebration, so Cam Newton did it to him
This
when he scored a
is-
touchdown.
Yeah, it's just really petty. Like it's almost like it's like little kids now. It's like, can we grow up? Like let them do what they got to do. Like they want to celebrate, let them celebrate. Just stop them. You know.
So, exactly.
stop 'em.
There- I'm gonna celebrate when I do something well for my team who is undefeated, who has a shot at the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Tennessee, that you're 2-7 at the bottom of the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys are terrible.
Yeah, it's making a big deal out of nothing. Really.
So to handwrite a letter to the Panthers, who then responded with Cam Newton's touchdown celebration on Twitter. Stop.
Yeah.
Write a letter to Congress telling them what you think about everything going on. Take your time and do it to something that actually matters instead of writing to Cam Newton about how it was a bad influence for your daughter
because of a dance.
because he celebrated because your team couldn't stop him. It's childish. You're as childish as what you thought Cam Newton was for celebrating, for doing that.
Just putting out the time to do that is just amazing.
Yeah,
Like where was she really trying to get out of that? I don't understand.
Yeah, what was her end goal? That Cam Newton stopped celebrating? Cam Newton's a really humble guy now, especially after the car accident last year where he almost flipped over a bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Cam Newton's a really humble guy and he's enjoying it. He like that one was kind of a jerk move because he did in the guy's face, but he deserved it. But when Cam celebrates, he hands the ball to a little kid in the fan. He understands that it's a game and that like it could be taken away from him at any point. Stop. Just stop writing these letters. Write a letter. I'm upset with Cam Newton's celebration.
It's childish.
That's the only way to put it. Childish. Moving on. First, a little MLB. So it just came out breaking news that David Ortiz is retiring at the end of the season coming up.
Oh wow. Big Poppy.
Yeah, he's turning 40 on Wednesday, tomorrow. So he's been solid through his whole career though. I mean, he's not even solid. He's been Hall of Fame. Solid was an undersell there. So Poppy will be retiring at the end of the 2016 season. It'll be his farewell tour. I'm sure we'll get a lot of gifts, kind of like Mariano Rivera did. Yeah. He's done so much for the game. He's in so many home runs. He's kind of the face of Boston as a whole. I mean, it's just him and Tom Brady are the guys of Boston.
Yeah, that's really it. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do throughout the season with him. Hopefully he gets to play a lot, and hopefully they're competitive because that would be nice to see Poppy kind of go out at least competitive, the way he's played, the way he's hit home runs. But yeah, he's retiring at the end of the season, so just had to give you that breaking news there. Moving on to college football. Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, Oklahoma State, top 4 teams for the playoffs. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I think they got about right. But as far as I like Ohio State though. Even though I'm not a fan of, it may seem different because of the way I talk about Cardale Jones and whatnot, but I really do like them about the game. They play really good against college teams, and I feel like anything. I think the top 4 is straight.
Yeah,
they're pretty good. Clemson is good too. Yeah.
I mean, that's solid. I don't think Notre Dame should be that high. I understand they lost the #1 team in the nation, but I don't know if they should be all the way up there at 5. Iowa's looked solid throughout, but they haven't played anybody, so that's going to hurt them. The thing is, if the rest of the top 4 teams went out, this is what we're going to have. I think Oklahoma State will jump. Alabama will probably jump. Clemson shouldn't be 1. I've said that from the start. They really
more than
haven't
likely
played
won't,
anybody.
though. They more than likely won't, I don't think.
No, I mean they'll win out most likely. Wake and South Carolina are going to be difficult, but you look at Clemson's schedule and then you
Yeah.
look at Alabama or Oklahoma State. Clemson's not there. Ohio State hasn't played great teams. In fact, they haven't even played a ranked team, but they're still winning. They play Michigan State and Michigan this upcoming weekend and the next weekend after that. Or might be 2 weekends away from now. The 21st. No, that's this weekend. So it'll be interesting to see how they end up. If they end up undefeated, I think Ohio State should be one just because they haven't lost a game in 2 years. Then Alabama's going to play some tough teams. They should probably be number 2. The final 2 games are cakewalk for them. They're playing at Auburn and some no-name team. Then you got Oklahoma State, who is playing some good football. I thought they were going to lose to TCU, but TCU turned out to not be that good. Baylor was playing all right. Now they lost. They're not as good now. Oklahoma State will probably beat them. And everybody said Baylor was overrated. Baylor lost their quarterback. So you lose your starting quarterback, you're not going to be as good as you were before. And people are like, well, the freshman played well the first game. Yeah, but you can't put that on him because you want him to come in and just dominate. It's not going to happen. It's not a fairy tale world. And then they got to play Oklahoma. So if Oklahoma State wins out, I think they're 2. I mean, if you ever told me end of the year if all the teams went out, I think Ohio State's 1, Oklahoma State's 2, Alabama's 3, Clemson's 4. But I think that's their final 4 if they all went out. But it'll be interesting. Right now, it really doesn't matter because there's still 2-3 games left and anything can happen.
Yeah.
Moving on to NBA. We got to cram it all in. We only got till 3. That's why we're speeding through it. NBA. Are the Celtics the real deal? They beat OKC. Yeah, it's Durant-less OKC, but they beat them.
Yeah.
They just beat the Rockets, who we'll talk about them in a minute.
They beat my team. They beat the Wizards.
Yeah.
And they blew us out by like 30.
I mean, Brad Stevens is one of the few exceptions to the rule that college basketball coaches don't make it in the NBA. He's one of the very few that do, in fact, make it.
But Isaiah Thomas is playing. He's really playing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a nice squad. Marcus Smart is looking good too.
Yeah, Marcus Smart looks like he could be one of the better point guards in the league. And I liked him coming out, but he got injured, so we didn't get to see, I guess, what he could do. But they look good, 6-4. And I know that the top teams are always going to be at the top. They beat the Thunder, they beat the Hawks, they beat the Rockets, they beat your Wizards, 76ers, who hasn't beat them. They lost to the Spurs, Pacers, Raptors, Pacers. Those are good teams.
But they're still a solid squad, nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, a
lot better than what we expected.
6-4. I mean, I had them like number 10 in power rankings at the beginning of the season, and I got laughed out of the building at it. Looks pretty good now, doesn't it?
Isaiah averaging 20, 21.
I mean, and Crowder's playing phenomenal defense, 3 steals a game, and he looks good. He's playing solid on offense too. One thing is, I don't think they have a true center. Sullinger's pretty good, but he's not like that true guy they need.
Yeah.
There's talk Boogie goes there. I kind of like that trade. Boogie Cousins would be an interesting one there.
That would be really good. Yeah.
I mean, that would be, I don't know. They just give up a couple draft picks because he doesn't want to be where he's at. But you got to make sure he's fully committed to Boston. That's one thing that you kind of worry about with Boogie because he likes to not commit to anything or anyone and likes to cause problems.
That's why you got to just stay put till John Wall comes.
Boogie there would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. So you just imagine that starting lineup.
But are they the real deal? I don't think they're no. We're not saying. I don't see them going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't see them doing nothing really spectacular. Playoffs, definitely. Maybe another first round exit. That's what I honestly see. They're a good team. They're better than I thought. That's what I'll give them. I'll give them that credit. But as far as them being like, a real threat to somebody, I don't really see it yet.
I think they got to go to the 4 seed before they knock somebody out first round. If they can make it up to the 4 seed, I think the home court advantage gets them there. But like if they play like a Miami or Toronto or Pacers or Pistons or anybody kind of in that mix, I think they could beat them in a 7-game series. Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, I don't think they got a shot. But I think any other team in the East, they could beat in a 7-game series. It would be an interesting one. They're young right now, and they're gonna by the end of the season they're gonna have even more experience. I mean, they've beat some quality teams.
Yeah, they're a really good team, but I don't know yet. I still have to see more of them.
Like you said, real deal. Like not national championship or conference finals or anything like that, but definitely a solid team that it's gonna make some noise. They're gonna make some noise, but when it's all said and done, they may not be out of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But getting to the first round with a really young squad and a coach who people kind of question. I mean, he coached Butler. It's like Butler. You're gonna
But
bring
they
him
did
to
the
the
same
NBA?
thing last year, though.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why Islam was like, what is their peak?
yeah,
I'm not really sure what their peak is. I don't really see them, eventually with the stars they have with Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is really good.
yeah.
Do I really see him carrying them to, the promised land of maybe an Eastern Conference Finals? No, but he's definitely solid. They have a lot of solid pieces. I just feel like they're missing that one person
Yeah.
that really can take over, One more piece. Boogie would help.
Yeah,
Boogie would
be
help.
interesting.
Yeah, Boogie would help.
Moving on to a team they just beat, the Rockets. What?
Yeah.
What? I don't even have words. Like, what is going on here? 4-7. They're terrible. They've lost 4 straight now. The Nets. They gave the Nets their first win. The Nets are terrible. Nuggets, Mavericks, Celtics. What is going on?
Well, James Harden, he has been doing good, but I know he hasn't really been shooting too good. He takes a lot of shots. The Rockets, I wouldn't be too concerned about them, but they do not look the same for some weird reason. I'm not sure if it's like the loss of Josh Smith and what have you, all the other players, the addition of Ty Lawson that kind of ruined it, but I don't know. They really don't seem the same. I'm not gonna lie. And losing to, teams like the Heat and getting blown out by dumb teams like the Nuggets. You don't expect them to get blown out by the Nuggets. Stuff like that it's just really weird.
They're just they got to find their way though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at some point they're gonna find their way, but right now they don't look like it. They look bad. And the thing is, they're in the West, where coming back from a deficit in the West is going to be difficult. I know the West isn't as good as we thought it was going to start off, but I mean, Utah looks like they're playing okay. Phoenix is playing solid. The Mavericks look much better than we thought.
Timberwolves are okay.
Yeah, Timberwolves are another team where Timberwolves can make a splash.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Karl Anthony Towns looks like a guy who I guess we expected or better than we expected.
And Wiggins is really doing things.
And you look at, I mean, they have an uphill battle because OKC's above 500 and they're missing KD.
Mm-hmm.
You got Golden State, who may never ever lose a game ever again. Like seriously, looking at their schedule, we talked about it earlier. They may never lose a game again.
But they got close to losing to the Nets.
They did,
got really close.
They won. I mean, they may never lose again. And the thing, they're playing with a backup coach.
Who they play next week? Because they'll slip up one. They'll slip up.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna slip up. They play Toronto tonight.
Okay.
That could be one that's like
interesting,
But they look.
They're the better team at every game they play. They're the better team. That's the thing. So it's just really we're just basing this off of could they have a bad night? Could they have a bad night? I mean, with 82 games, you would expect that they will. But yeah, they look really good. Like it's really unbelievable how they're playing.
I mean, if they stay healthy, they compete with the Jordan Bulls for most wins in a season.
Yeah.
If they can stay healthy.
If they can't stay healthy.
And Draymond Green, I owe that man an apology because I thought he was not even close to what people thought he was, and he's coming out and he's balling.
I think he's just really striving with the system.
He is. I mean, 7 assists. He's averaging like 10 rebounds and 10 points. I mean, he's playing really good basketball, and I didn't think he had that in him. I mean, he wanted that max contract and everything. It's just.
Yeah, I don't know. But with Draymond, I don't know. Like I said, I think he's really striving out the system. Yeah, 7 assists. I don't really see him doing on any other team. Just the fact that they have so many 3-point shooters. It's just like it's kind of like somebody got to get the assist.
Well, Curry takes 11 a game, so
it
makes 5. I mean, 11 teams don't even take 11. You think about it, like some teams a couple of years ago didn't even take 11 3-pointers as a team.
Yeah.
And now this guy's doing it all on his own. They average 30 3-pointers a game. Clay takes 5, almost 6. Harrison Barnes takes 3. Draymond takes 4. And that's like it. It's between those 4 players. Iguodala takes a couple, but
Not worry about him too much.
no. But that's just a ridiculous lineup. And they want to go after KD. They're making him push for KD. They're saying we got the money for it. There wouldn't be enough balls to go
They
around.
they have some nerve.
If they got KD,
That's not even. I'm not going to entertain that.
oh yeah, because he's going to Washington.
I'm not
I forgot
entertaining
he's going to
a
Washington.
KD with
Yeah,
Steph Curry.
I forgot he's going to Washington.
Oh yeah, he's going to Washington.
yeah, of course he is.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to college basketball, it started. So you didn't get my super early, way too early to even talk about it. Pick to win it all.
What is that?
I chose who was going to win it all.
Oh, who?
I said Michigan State.
Well, why Michigan State?
Because Michigan State always seems to be solid. It's usually not a number 1 seed that wins it all.
Yeah, that's true.
And they got a really good coach. So I said Michigan State, who plays Kansas tonight.
That'll be a really good matchup for them with Bill Self squad.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas is number 4 in the nation. Michigan State's like 13-14. It's going to be a really good game. Michigan State, I think, comes out on top because I think they're going to be the national champion when it's all said and done.
Michigan State, I don't know if I see them winning it. Oh, no.
Who you got winning all? Who's your way too early to tell? I can't believe we're talking about this.
I've always been a Kentucky fan, but I'm not going to go with them this year.
Oh, this is some reverse psychology stuff he's trying to do.
I'll probably have to stick with Duke, to be honest.
You think Duke's got it?
Yeah, Duke, they got a nice young backcourt, and I feel like this year they actually is wide open because there's not really. It seems like every year it was Kentucky preseason, just every year, and now I feel like it's really wide open. I mean, you got number 1, what did they say, like North Carolina number 1 or something? Yeah, and I really don't see North Carolina winning it all, but you never. Like I said, it's just wide open.
Yeah,
really.
One team that I think will surprise a lot of people is LSU.
Oh yeah,
LSU. They got the number 1 guy, Ben something.
Bill Simmons or something
Bill
like that?
Simmons.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons. Yeah.
No, Bill Simmons is the writer.
Yeah, Bill Simmons is the writer.
Guy. No, we're talking about Ben Simmons, the basketball player. He's looked really good. I don't know if you've seen any LSU games so far. I mean, this guy's going to be the number 1 overall draft pick next year.
Yeah, he has been looking really, really good. It'll be interesting to see how they do as a team.
Yeah,
it really will.
It's interesting that he went to LSU though.
Yeah, that's
weird. That's not a basketball school.
Yeah, like you're supposed to be going to like Kentucky or Duke or something. One player.
Yeah, no, UNC, something like that.
Yeah,
Simmons is he's really good. Moving on to a different basketball team that's still really good. ODU. Continue to roll. They beat Buffalo. I know Buffalo.
It seemed pretty easy too. I didn't watch the game, but I was looking at the stats.
No, I went to the game. I mean, it was at one point Freeman had more points than Buffalo.
Yeah, I know he had like 18 and a half or something. No, that was wild.
Yeah, he was going off. I mean, he couldn't miss, and coach kind of took back his minutes second half to keep him healthy and all that. ODU has a tough schedule coming up though. They got to play Purdue, who's number 21. They might have to play Florida. They're in this whole like tournament thing that's really, really oddly laid out.
Mm-hmm. But it's gonna be interesting to see how they play against like Purdue and Florida, stuff like that.
And the thing is, like they're gonna get back Pervier, so they're gonna have an actual center.
Mm-hmm.
They've shown they can hit threes. They can make a run. I think they're gonna win CUSA. A lot of people are like, "Oh, UAB looks like they're gonna win it all." ODU's got a squad.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they got a team that's really good.
And like I said, they got a real center now. Like they got like a legit 7-footer. Like they got some size to them, and they got Trey Freeman. That man is really, he gets a bucket.
You think he goes to the NBA?
I have to see more. I mean, he gets a bucket. The way he scores is really amazing, and he definitely should be on the summer league squad from what I see right now.
I think he's ended up a European D-League player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he makes NBA unless he goes off this season. If he can continue to drop 18.5 and put up like 36, 40 points, he could get there. But I Other than that, I think he's European.
Yeah,
But
we'll have to see how he plays against like better teams. You know,
yeah,
like Purdue.
I mean,
stuff like
Purdue's
that.
on the 21st, so that's
Yeah.
going to be a big game
Mhm.
for ODU. And you look at some of the other games, then they get a while off before they're back at it. But they got to play VCU. VCU
They
is
should be
always a
able to,
tough one.
but they should be able to beat VCU this year.
Yeah, VCU lost Shaka.
Yeah,
That's something that a lot of people forgot, that Shaka's
Mhm.
not at VCU anymore. He's at Texas. But I mean, ODU's schedule is pretty easy for the most part. You look at who they got to verse, minus Purdue, because Purdue is a very, very good
Yeah.
team. They play Purdue. They play VCU, William and Mary. I mean, they're not playing any ranked teams this year. So to say they're going to have a really
Yeah.
good season, I mean, La Tech always plays them close, but it really doesn't matter there because it's conference. But ODU looks like the better team. Marshall's usually never good. Western Kentucky, no. UAB's their only threat because apparently UAB is supposed to be good, but UAB lost. UAB's got lost.
So you got them going to the tournament?
Yeah, I think they win CUSA.
Oh yeah, I definitely do too.
Even if they don't win the tournament for CUSA, I think they have a good enough team to make it, especially if they beat Purdue. If they
Yeah.
beat Purdue and then have a solid season, there's not a whole lot they can do to mess that up. Because Purdue number 21,
Yeah, I definitely agree.
That-
and the
that
way that
would-
the whole schedule seems like it's going to be playing out,
yeah,
it's a really good chance that you could definitely make it to the tournament. That'd be awesome. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
no, it would be fun to go see,
Mhm.
and I think they could even make some noise in the tournament
Yeah,
as long as they don't get like a terrible seed, like anything higher than like a 12 seed. I think they could do like 11 seed or something like that.
Mhm.
Even that low, I think they could do well, but they'll be ranked by the end of, at least some point in the season
I agree.
because they're a good team. Ending with the upset, or actually no, we'll end with Kentucky and Duke. So you mentioned that you were a Kentucky fan, but you got Duke winning it all.
Yeah.
But who wins the game tonight? They play tonight. Who wins that game?
Tonight, I'd have to give the edge to. Isn't it at Duke?
Yeah, it's at Duke.
Yeah. I'd have to give it to Duke.
You gotta give it to
Just
Duke.
because they're at home. Yeah, they're at home, and
Yeah, winning theirs.
yeah, it's kind of tough in there, Coach K court.
Yeah, Cameron Indoor. I think I'm gonna have to go with you. I think Duke wins it. Duke just looks like a really good team.
Mhm.
It's gonna be hard to beat them at home.
Yeah.
If it was at Kentucky, I think it would be a different story.
Mhm.
I think it's still gonna be a fun game to watch. It's not gonna be a blowout by any means. So watch that tonight. After you're done replaying this a couple times.
Mhm.
UVA got upset by George Washington. Didn't get to that, but we can talk about it on Thursday. 2 hours.
Mhm.
Back to 2 hours. Last 1 hour show. Woohoo! You'll get us for 4 hours a week now. Isn't that fun? But yeah, a lot of college basketball. It was like 32 hours straight. So if you go to ESPN2 or ESPN or anything like that, college basketball
Yeah,
all the time.
tip off marathon.
Yeah,
right?
it's the greatest time of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, some good games out there. Kansas, Michigan State, and then you got Duke, Kentucky. So those two games will be good. One's at 7:30, one's at 10. So you'll be able to watch both. Wichita State plays too. Maybe some upsets. Notre Dame plays Connecticut. Villanova plays Nebraska. Maryland, Georgetown. All good games.
Well, yeah.
We'll recap them all next time on Cup Check from WODU, the best in college radio.